Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, I've got two stories for you today and also some newbie advice, and especially for newbies I'm going to take you around the BART bus route, the main one from where you just saw me at Walking Street and outside where Bamboo was. We're at the traffic lights here with South Pattaya Road and Second Road, and I'm gonna take you around the whole of the BART bus route while we have a chat. Okay, so the Thailand pass is gone, the COVID insurance is gone, the early closing is gone, the testing is gone, the temperature checks are gone. So it looks like, even though the airfares are very high, I know at the moment, I reckon that a whole bunch of you guys will be coming to Pattaya very soon, with 2 years frustration under your belt and 2 years of no vacation holiday cash burning a hole in your pocket. I mean, I know from the comments that many of you guys are going to be popping your Pattaya cherry, shall we say, this year, and because you've watched so many videos you think you're prepared for what's about to happen to you when you get here. But even though the videos do help, believe me, you will still be bowled over by the way the girls can perform when they want something. Now, you've been told again and again not to get emotionally involved with a bar girl and not to see one for more than 1 or 2 days max. But I know that many of you guys will become besotted with one because she's different, and fall for her big time because they can turn on the charm and be so attentive, which is something you don't get from Western girls anymore. The insurmountable problem is that you don't live here. You're only here for a few weeks and then you have to go back home to work and to live. And you leave your newfound love of your life here in Pattaya. Now, what often happens is that the guy wants the girl to stop working in the bar or the go-go or wherever and go home to the village, and he will support her. That's the last thing that the girl wants, because the village is boring as hell after the Pattaya nightlife scene. So the girl will come up with a suggestion of some way that you can stay in Pattaya, because she's addicted to the nightlife, and the suggestion is often some sort of a business in Pattaya. Now, let me tell you a little story which my hairdresser friend told me about last month. Now, as many of you know, I have a very good friend, and I have had for many years. And by the way, that night market on the right hand side there, loads and loads of copy stuff in there, really cheap. And that's Central Festival passing on the left side there. So let me just carry on. So as I was saying, I have a very good friend I've had for many years who's a hairdresser, and she has a shop just off Macau. And now most of her clients are working girls, and they confide in her, and then she tells me their stories, which I then tell you guys. Yeah, all about the story. You've heard them before, many of them. Well, this story is about the shop next door to my hairdresser's shop, which is, what used to be, a beauty salon. It has a small apartment upstairs, so you can live there if you want to. And it has all the stock in it, has everything in it, but whoever was running it before, it wasn't good. They didn't know what they were doing, and it didn't work, and we're now up for sale. Okay, so a few weeks ago, a pretty young girl and her young boyfriend came to view, and they ended up buying the shop. What I really should say is buying the business, because the buildings are never for sale, or rarely for sale. And the business included all the furniture and the stock and everything. Well, this young girl, she's in her 20s, very pretty, and her young American boyfriend's in his 30s. So they spent the remainder of his vacation tidying up everything and renaming the shop and getting new signage all over the shop in the girl's name and getting it ready to open straight after the guy went back home. So the opening day came and they had some monks come like they do to bless the shop. And the next day, the young American boyfriend left for his long trip back to the States. So the next morning, as my hairdresser was opening her shop, she saw the girl next door. That's Soy 6, by the way. Oh, anyone want to buy a jumbo jet? There's one on the left side there for sale. Failed project by the look of it. Anyway, get back to the story. So as I was saying, the next morning my hairdresser was opening her shop, and the new young pretty neighbour also was opening her shop shutter, and my hairdresser thought, oh, she's opening the shop early. But she came outside and then she closed the shutter and locked it, and she had a small bag with her. And my hairdresser friend sort of turned around to see there was one of those big white VIP Fortuner taxis waiting for her. So she'd obviously been inside, got the bag, and was coming out back to get back in the taxi. And my friend realised the girl had not stayed in the shop, but had just come back to pick up a bag. And then a young foreign guy got out of the taxi, came over to the girl and gave her a hug, and the driver picked up the bag and threw it in the back of the taxi, and the couple, hand in hand, got into the back of the Fortuner and off they went. By the way, that's Terminal 21 shopping mall on the right hand side, and what's about to happen now will happen to you guys if you rent motorbikes here. The problem is you probably won't have a Thai license or even an international license, or maybe a helmet. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you money with regard to motorbikes, and how dangerous it is here and how different it is here to the rest of the world, practically, unless not including India and Malaysia and places like that. But you know what I mean. The Western way of driving is regulated. Here it's not. They just do their own thing, and they give no warning. Okay. Anyway, we're going down now, down the hill. We turned left there at Terminal 21. We're going to go drop down the hill, and then we're going to go all the way down Beach Road back to Walking Street. So this is the route that the BART bus takes. Right, let me carry on with the story. 2 days later, the girl from next door reappeared, and she walked into my hairdresser friend's shop asking if she did hair straightening, which she does. So anyway, my friend got chatting to the girl for the first time properly, and it turned out that the girl had previously been working in a go-go on LK Metro 2 years before COVID even came, and she met the young American guy back in 2019. Then when the first lockdown came in April of 2020, he helped her when she couldn't find work when everything was closed, and she went home to Buriram for 2 years, and he sent her money every month to support her. Then a few weeks ago he came back and they were reunited in Pattaya and stayed together having a ball in Pattaya. While they were together, the girl told the guy that she didn't want to go back working in a go-go because she didn't want to go with another man. She loved him too much. So she wants to open a beauty shop in Pattaya, and she convinced him to buy her the shop next door to my hairdresser's friend's shop because it was already all kitted out as a beauty shop, and the girl knows all about beauty products, and she would never need to go working in a bar again. So my hairdresser friend said, "But what happened the other day when you disappeared for 2 days with a different guy?" "Oh," the girl said, "he's really handsome, isn't he? I met him in Ibar the night before and he wanted to take me to Koh Samet for a week, but I told him I can only go for 2 days because I must get back and open my shop. But really I had to be back for when my boyfriend would call after he got home from his long trip to America, and then have a good sleep, and then he would call." So that was several days ago. Since then, the girl has stayed upstairs in the apartment above the shop, but the roller shutter is never more than halfway up, and the shop is never open. But every evening about 9 p.m, another friend of hers, another very attractive girl, arrives, and then the two of them together, apparently it's her best mate, the two of them together then go to Ibar freelancing. Oh, by the way, the girl did make a comment to my hairdresser friend saying she really liked Americans. And my hairdresser said, "Why? Because they have good heart, they're JD." "No," the girl said, "no, because time is so different. Night here is day there, and day here is night there. So not easy to make video call and get caught." So that girl's got it all figured out, hasn't she? What do you know? Now I think I have time just to tell you another little short story about the Line app trick. Most of you will know the Line messaging app, which is like the Asian version of WhatsApp, and all Thai girls have it on their phones. So I've got an English friend in his 50s named John, and he was walking down Soi Pothole last week when a young 22-year-old girl came out of the bar and grabbed his arm, saying, "Hi handsome man, what's your name, and will you come have a drink with me?" And she dragged him into the bar and was really enthusiastic and friendly. So he had a couple of drinks with her, and then he had to go to meet some friends. But she, as he checked the bill, she produced her phone with the Line app QR code showing, saying, "I want you Line, I like you, I want you Line." So he scanned the QR code and left. About an hour later, he got a Line message saying, "Hope to see you soon," and he just sent a happy face back. Next morning, he got another message from her saying, "Good morning," again happy face back. In the afternoon, he got an "How are you" message. In the evening, he got a "When you come see me" message. Later in the evening, he got a "Are you free" message. Next morning, another "Good morning" message. Lunchtime, an "I waiting for you" message. Afternoon, "I won't see you" message. In the evening, a "Good night" message. "I won't see you tomorrow." So in the end, John thought he'd have to put the girl out of her misery. She was obviously besotted with him. And he went to the bar about 3 p.m. the following afternoon. And there she was sitting at the front of the bar. As he approached the bar, she got up and grabbed his arm and said, "Hi handsome man, what's your name? Come have a drink with me." John immediately realized that the girl obviously did the same thing with everybody, and it was just a marketing ploy, and she had no idea who he was. So he thought, okay, I'll just play along and see what happens. And he said, his name was David and he was from America, and they had one drink and repeated the conversation that they'd had previously a couple of days before. And then she took out her phone as he went to pay the bill and showed him her QR Line code, saying, "I want you Line, I like you." John replied, "You already have it, honey." Anyway guys, if you like the video, please subscribe and like and share and ring the bell, and thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you on the next video. Take care.